been raining all day, and I need to mow the grass again already, and I'm kind of upset about it. But whatever.
It happens.
Yeah, because it's monsoon season in the Midwest.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like I think it's supposed to rain every single day this week. I think.
That sucks. We're getting sunny skies and it's really really hot here. So
You
we're
can
the
send it
opposite
my way.
opposite.
That'd be great.
So Pizzy is here for the review tonight. He told me earlier that he wouldn't be here for the review because he had a show to go to, but he's actually really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Pizzy, again, I'm very sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But we get to talk about the Pact with
Yes,
Pizzy, and it was his recommendation. So
it was. Yes,
yeah.
I
Um,
I hate to hear that you're sick, man, because it seems like you've been sick for like a year and a half. Hope you get better.
yeah. Hope you feel better, Pizzy. But we are glad you're here with us.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Do you have the multi-link?
Yes. Boom. Boom. Hey, Bia, what's
Thanks.
up?
All right. Cool. Pizzy just has. Pizzy is just very unlucky.
Sounds
Unlucky
like
with
it.
being sick.
Sounds like it.
So.
Well,
Alrighty.
hopefully it goes away soon.
Yes. Okay. So multi-link is posted. Um, and are you ready to talk about the movie?
Yep, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start with initial reviews, right?
Yes. Um. So okay. So I went kind of back and forth on this movie while I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time watching it. Let me start by saying that. So I went kind of back and forth because part of it, okay, not part of it, the movie itself, like the plot itself isn't like that bad. There are some parts that I have issues with, but the acting is like beyond atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with a 6 to start off.
Okay. Yeah, I actually so my kind of general synopsis of the movie was, well, I guess first of all, I don't know if anyone watches horror movies for the acting. 'Cause I feel like horror movies are notoriously like bad and where that's concerned.
Fair.
But so I'll say that I think that this was like a pretty okay movie.
Yeah.
Like it had some decent twists. Like I think that it was a low budget uh film and you can kind of, I wouldn't say it's like canned. It's not like a canned story. Um but it definitely feels like very compact. I don't know. Like but it has some decent twists and turns and so I think it was like a pretty okay movie, like a pretty decent movie.
Yeah, like
Um
I would say I would watch it, but I wouldn't be like, you have to watch this movie. Like it's so good, you have to watch this movie. But I'd be like, you know what? Have you ever seen this? It's pretty okay. Like
yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
you
so
should watch it.
I was gonna give it like a 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're pretty
Mhm.
close rating wise.
Yes. Yes, we
Cool.
are.
And then I think that overall, so it looks like on IMDb it gets 5.8 out of 10. So that's like right smack dab in between
Yeah.
our two reviews. I think Rotten Tomatoes it gets a 69%. So
Okay.
um yeah. Or no, wait, 69. Oh, that's the tomato. Wait, 41% liked it.
Okay.
So that's a little bit lower.
That's a little bit lower.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Um
Um, but yeah, it's not terrible. I think there's
yeah.
parts of it that are like I don't know. I had trouble with them, but you might not have, and that's fine. So we'll see how it goes as the movie as we kind of dive into the plot a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um, go ahead.
I was just gonna say plot wise, it's like a pretty simple plot, I would say.
Mhm.
Two sisters go back to their childhood home after their mom dies, and um, was apparently filled with unhappy memories and not great times.
Right.
And so one goes back, one is hesitant. Um, then weird things start happening, and so the hesitant sister kind of steps up, becomes the main character, and you get this feeling that something paranormal is happening. And I think that's kind of where like the movie does a really good job with the kind of like I don't know twist part, and obviously spoilers because we're talking about the movie, but
Yeah.
it kind of starts off with this sort of like paranormal feel, and you go through like the normal paranormal shenanigans, right? Like cabinets are open in the middle of the night,
The
or there's
refrigerator's
like
open and food's left out.
yeah, or like there's strange noises and people are like disappearing in the house or they go missing and you can't find them, and so it's very like paranormal type happenings. But as the story progresses, the sister learns kind of like more and more about the house, and she teams up with a cop to investigate the house. People are still missing. It gets kind of intense, and sort of halfway through the movie, they discover this secret room in the house, and this is like the big reveal, right? Like
Mhm.
these sisters have lived in the house, they grew up in the house, never knew this room existed. It's a creepy room. There are like secret spy holes that look into the other areas of the house, and so this is kind of where it turns from a paranormal story to kind of like you start questioning what exactly is going on.
Right.
Is it like demon summoning? Was there like someone kept in the house that died and they're a ghost? Like,
Is
um,
it some random hobo living in the house?
yeah, was someone living in the house without their knowledge? So it gets interesting, and I think that the movie does a pretty good job of like keeping you involved in the plot and kind of questioning what's happening. Um, let's see. So once they discover the room, that's kind of the turning point. And then what happens after that? So it's kind of like then it well, I guess then it does kind of become paranormal.
It's I think it does a pretty good job of mixing like paranormal with the living. Um because yes, there's still like she's doing like a she makes like a makeshift Ouija board or whatever. Um and
And
she's like
like
talking to the ghost of
yeah.
this lady that was beheaded. But there's also like a living I guess it's a living flesh person. I
Yeah,
mean,
well she brings in a medium because I think her initial reaction is that there is a ghost, like this
right.
place is haunted, right? So she brings in a medium and it kind of like I guess answers her question. Like she feels that there is obviously a ghost in the house. And so kind of as the movie progresses, you think that this ghost is sort of the main antagonist.
Right.
And so yeah, and she breaks out the Ouija board and starts trying to communicate with the ghost. And I guess the biggest twist of the movie is she's in there talking to the like trying to communicate with the ghost, and from under the floor walks this like real life person, right? So
Yes.
you're like, like, what the heck is going on? Like this horrifying looking man who's not a ghost, he's obviously a living person, just like strolls out of the room, doesn't know she's there, and so then you're faced with like this. Yes, there is a ghost, but there is actually also a live living man
Yes.
in their home, like living under the floorboards.
Which I'm not gonna lie, like that, like the thought of there being a secret room that you don't know about, and not only a secret room, but apparently like a secret room underneath that secret room, because she goes down there and that's where he's like keeping dead bodies and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
to
You well
me,
it, yeah.
like the thought of someone like unbeknownst to you is living in your house is terrifying to me.
Oh yeah, and especially when you think so, like when they first uncover the room, you see little peepholes, right?
Mhm.
That look into the bedrooms, the living room, probably the bathroom. I don't know,
Oh,
but like that there are all these holes in there that someone has just been looking through. Like,
yeah,
and yeah, that was really creepy.
really a creepy thought. Like, because I mean, it could be like it depends. You know, I mean, like with how old the house is and stuff. Like those old houses have like weird little compartments in them all the time. Like my best friend, he has this weird compartment in his basement that it just like goes to nothing, and I don't know what it's there for.
What?
I don't know what it's there for, but it's like a 150-year-old house that he lives in, and I get he's like, yeah, that was what I got here. Like, nah, I'll pass, bro.
Right?
I don't want to be down here no more.
Yeah, I can't imagine like discovering something like that in the house that I grew up in.
Right,
Just the thought of it. Although, so throughout the story, you kind of get some backstory about the sisters, and so even though they didn't know about the secret room growing up, there was some hinting at essentially I guess taking a step back real quick, the reason that one of the sisters was hesitant to return to the house was that their mother was just terrible to them. She was very abusive, and so they're throughout the movie they talk about that, and they also hint at the fact that the sisters were, I guess, essentially put into a closet as punishment, and that terrible things happen in that closet. Well, you find out later that that secret room has access to the closet.
right.
So then you're kind of thinking, okay, so there's these young children placed in the closet. There's this creepy man living in a secret room in the middle of their home that has access to this closet, and you just kind of imagine really terrible things. So,
Yes, very
yeah.
terrible thing.
So,
Um, the yeah, I mean it all it works well together. They do a very good job of storytelling, and they don't like it's not like a bunch of what the hell is happening, and then all of a sudden you just get this huge rush of information. Like the lady's at the library and she's just like types in exactly what she needs to find, and she finds out all this stuff. It's kind of like sprinkled in throughout, where she's kind of like doing
yeah.
searches, and she's kind of like she's talking to the medium, and like the thing pops up on her phone, the address on her phone or whatever, and so she's kind of like doing her own research as the movie goes on, rather than it just being like one big wave of information and then the end, like
Yeah, so
other
she
horror
she
movies
does
do.
yeah, she does like some sleuthing throughout the movie, and you get hints about the past, you get kind of hints about the ghosts. The ghost does lead some of that, like, I think the ghost led her to a couple different places where
Mhm.
she discovered some information. And but yeah, I agree. I think the movie did a good job of giving you bits of information throughout, and I think that's kind of what helped keep my attention through the story, because it kind of does it starts out as like a maybe like a seemingly typical sort of like ghost
It
movie,
does, it really
like
does.
something paranormal is happening in this house, and there are mysterious and spooky circumstances, right? But when that secret room is discovered, and I think that's pretty much kind of like right in the middle of the movie, like I said, it's really that turning point where, okay, like this isn't like a normal paranormal like ghost movie anymore. There's more to it, or there's something else going on.
Right.
So yeah, they did a good job of kind of leading you through the story.
Yeah, because up until that point they really um want you to believe that it's like a malevolent ghost, because like there's the point where she's in the house and she like has the kitchen knife or whatever, it's like I don't know, probably like 20 or 30 minutes in, maybe 45, maybe 40 minutes tops. But she's like in there with her. I can't remember. It's whoever the young daughter was staying with. Her name's like Liv or Liz or something like that. I don't know if she's like a
Is
family
it
friend.
is it the I think it's their yeah, something aunt. I guess it
Okay,
must just be their family friend.
but they're like staying in the house with that, and that lady goes missing, and um, and
Oh,
then
that's
she's like getting thrown around, like thrown around the house. She's getting smacked into everything in the kitchen. And so up until that point, you really start to think like, okay, this is just a typical malevolent spirit. They're gonna purge the house and everything's gonna be honky dory. No, that's not what happens. You know, like you said, they kind of sprinkle in more things. They find the hidden room, and it. I think that is a good way to do like go about it, because we've all seen prototypical horror paranormal movies where, oh, someone died in the house and we got to find their bones and we got to figure this out because
yeah.
it's a poltergeist. But this did a really good job of kind of, once you get to that point where they find that secret room, it totally turns everything 180 degrees, and you're like, well, what the hell's going on? Let's figure this out. I'm right there
Yeah.
with you, girl. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so at the end when they show this man who's been living in the floor, um kind of through the movie, you see him at the end, and so it turns out that he is their uncle. So essentially throughout their childhood, their mother had been housing, I guess, or her brother, their uncle, in the house. He was living there, like, I don't know, being sheltered and murdering, like going around California and murdering people, and ended up murdering someone in the house as well. I think, right? Was
Yes.
she murdered in the house? Yeah.
Yeah, she um yeah. Yes.
Or yeah, it's okay. I can't remember from the movie because I they showed there is a ghost in the house, and that ghost was murdered, and she
Yeah.
was a friend of the family. And I can't remember. They showed a picture of the body, but it didn't look like it was in the house. Okay. Pizzy says it was in the house. So yeah, so she was murdered in the house, and her that's the ghost. So essentially, this serial killer uncle was living with them the entire time.
Yeah.
And he's still alive. Like he is still there. He's not a ghost. He's living,
And
and
he has a
is
taste
abducting.
for pickles and butter, I guess.
Yeah, so you kind of see like some of the like poltergeist activity in the beginning of the movie where like cabinets were left open or there was food that was thrown out of the fridge. It was actually pulled out by this man who was living in the house. So it wasn't the ghost at all. It was just a man who was wandering around the house while there were people in there, like just living there, just you know, just
Yeah.
totally normal, totally
It's
fine.
it's the most, like, I saw that he there was like pickles and 2 sticks of butter, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
what is this ghost do? Because it's before you figure out there's a dude living in the house. I'm like, what is this ghost doing eating pickles and butter? Like,
Yeah, it was just pickles and butter.
like, what in the world? All right, sure.
Yeah, so I actually like, as creepy as that entire scene was, I had to kind of chuckle at that because they show him at the fridge and then you're like, "Oh, he's the pickles and butter man."
Right.
Like it's just kind of like it's kind of silly like if it wasn't such an intense scene because
Mhm.
during that same time like the sister is trying to hide from him. She
Yeah.
doesn't know that she's there. If it wasn't such an intense scene, it would be kind of silly. But I think that it was a good scene.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely good. And I don't know. I just thought that like I said, I just thought that the pickles and the butter was like the two most random things he could have eaten out of the fridge. are
Right.
pickles and butter. Like, yeah, this is totally fine. Like, this is totally, I can totally make a good meal out of this. No, you can't. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he was weird, so I guess you just have to assume that his
he
pacing was
is.
also not great.
He looked weird. The guy they got to play him, he did a great job because I don't know. It could have also been the cinematography, but like when he comes climbing out of that hole in the secret room, it
It was
is like
scary.
the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Let's
So,
see. I don't know if they have a photo of him.
yeah, they might not. I don't know.
Uh,
Buttered pickles sounds like an interesting snack. Actually, you can get bread and butter pickles at the store, and they're like buttered. It's like pickles that have a hint of butter to them, and they're pretty good. They're
they're
pretty good.
not like the bread and butter pickles.
They are, but like they have hard to explain. Like they are like bread and butter pickles, but they have like a hint of butter flavor to them. Does that make sense? Like they
Yes.
have like spicy pickles too, like hot pickles that are just like soaked in, but whatever. Anyways,
There aren't a whole lot of pictures of the guy, but let's see.
I'm
Let's
telling you
like
guys right now, he looks creepy. He's like covered in freckles. Speaking of that, like
yeah,
everybody in this movie is like covered in freckles, aside from Casper Van Dien, who was also this damn name Rico something, Colonel Rico in Starship Troopers.
mhm.
You ever seen that movie?
No.
What?
Oh, no, maybe I have. Yes, it's been a while.
Like that's such a good movie. Johnny
They're not.
Rico, that's his name. Johnny Rico. That's his name. Yeah. Starship Troopers is a great movie. Anyways, everybody's like covered in freckles, and uh, but I don't know, I don't know, his like from a distance, like the main bad dude, his from a distance almost look like burns, and it freaks me out. I don't like it.
Burns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like just from a
I can
distance.
see
Like
it.
once you get up close, you're like, oh, they're just freckles. But from a distance,
Yeah.
he looks like he's burned.
There's like no picture like there are very very few pictures of him like even when you oh wait was he the guy wait did he sorry I'm looking at pictures of like him oh here's a good one here's a good one. I mean it's like kind of a behind the scenes shot but like he's like holding the knife.
Great.
Bree, what's up? Hey Bree.
There you
But
go.
you can kind of see that he's like just got this really creepy look, and he just like walks around with no shirt. But they have like makeup on him, so like I totally know what you mean when you are talking about him looking burned, because I think they kind of have like really pale makeup, and he's like kind of like his skin's kind of like mottled a little bit and like gross. Um, but yeah. I was he did he also I when I was looking up pictures of him, there were like some like contortion pictures and I think that he like has done a lot of like he's been in a lot of horror stuff, right?
I don't know. I go to Wikipedia and his name does not have a um
I was thinking he was maybe the
apparently
like
he's
in
in
Silent
Stranger
Hill.
Things.
He's been in yeah, Stranger Things, American Horror Story,
He in Stranger
The
Things.
Nun. They show him
Oh,
in a
he's the
lot of monster
Demigorgon.
yeah, they show him in a lot of monster suits.
Shit.
Kippy, what is
He's
up? How are
also
you?
in the upcoming movie Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Or historian? Yeah, I think that he just plays a lot of monster suit people. Like he's in that he can like contort and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of neat.
Dude, what? They're making a Critters TV show? Oh my god. Sorry. I was looking at his past credits on IMDb, and
And he's in a new show.
he's in a new show about the Critters franchise.
He was the Demigorgon. That's cool.
The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. I feel like I need to watch this.
We are talking about the movie The Pact,
From 2012. That's important.
Yeah, horror movie from 2012.
That's important.
Is it important?
It is. So, side note, I told you I had a story about my dumbass self today.
Yes.
Right? So, I downloaded a movie called The Pact.
Was it the right Pact?
It was not the right Pact. It came out in 2018, and it is entirely in Spanish. Now, the question I want you to ask me is, how long did I watch this movie before I realized that this was not the right movie?
It's called El Pacto.
Mine said The Pact. Mine said The Pact.
Oh, it's the Pact TV series, 2018.
No. It's the El Pacto. I guarantee it is. But I watched like 30 minutes of it before I was like, do I need subtitles for this movie?
That's so funny. Was it like in any way similar to this movie?
No. No.
It just like wasn't even close.
No, not even nope.
Funny.
Although I couldn't really tell because they were speaking Spanish, and
yeah, so
I'm not fluent in Spanish. So that's my dumbass.
But, so if anyone wants to watch this movie, it is The Pact, yes, from 2012. There are apparently a lot of pacts out there.
There is, because there's also a sequel to this one.
There's The Pact 2.
Yes.
Which I don't think got great reviews. I don't think it was that good. I don't know, Pizzy, if you've seen The Pact 2. But
I have not seen it. I don't know about it. But there is The Pact 2. There's also El Pacto.
El Pacto.
I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize. But
so we kind of talked a little bit about what we liked in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of kind of the twists, and well, we said the acting wasn't great, but that the story overall was pretty good, had a pretty decent twist. The plot went at a decent pace. So do you want to talk about things that we weren't so crazy about besides the acting?
Okay. So I think that they do. I think they go out of their way to make the main character seem like, I don't know if they're trying to make her seem like attractive. Okay, that sounds bad. She's not unattractive. Listen, all right. So there's the scene where she's at the motel or whatever.
The motorcycle scene?
What?
The motorcycle scene?
No, the scene where she's in a dream sequence and she's like walking around in her underwear for like 10 minutes. And then there's other scenes where she's like crossing her arms, but instead of just crossing her arms normally, she's like pushing her boobs up and out. And I don't quite get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the point of it. Maybe you can enlighten me.
I didn't notice that at all.
Are you serious?
So the scene where she's in her underwear at the hotel and I thought that was like a little like I think I kind of noticed it, but like it wasn't like a huge thing for me. But I definitely did not notice like the rest of the stuff. Like
it's definitely there. It's definitely there. There's a scene, I want to say it's whenever she goes to meet the medium, like when she goes to the house for the first time, and there's like all that, there's like all the people there or whatever, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And she's like she's like talking to the dude named Giles. Shout out to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But she's like talking to him and he's like, wait here. And she does it like right then. She like crosses her arms and she just like pushes her boobs up and out. And I'm like, what is the point of this? Why are you doing this? Why are you standing that way? And also, not only that, this is the bigger thing, right? So that's not a big deal. I don't care. I just was curious if there was a reason for it that I missed. the more
Well, I
important thing is she has this dumbass look on her face the entire time if she's not talking, and she has like a partially opened mouth. Like, I need to find a picture. God damn it.
no, like I know what you're saying. Oh wait, yeah. Also, there's that scene
I
where
need to find a
she goes to the bathroom with the door open. That was kind of weird too.
There's a lot of weird things in this movie that pertain to the main character. I don't
So
understand it.
I wasn't like like I didn't. I could take her or leave her. Like she didn't bother me that much, but I wasn't like super crazy about her. But I think that to me overall, they were trying to make her seem like kind of like tough, kind of like hardened from her past. So like to me, I'd have to rewatch that scene where she crosses her arms, but to me like she was kind of in a situation where that was like uncomfortable, and if you kind of like have your arms like tight to your chest or whatever, maybe it could be misinterpreted as like, I mean, your boobs are there. If you cross your arms, like it's kind of hard not to
I mean,
like,
that's
you know what I
fair.
mean?
That's fair. And I
But
very well could be reading way too far into it, and
uh
that's fine. I was just saying, coupled with the scene where she's walking around in her underwear and all these other scenes where she's just doing this dumb shit, it just didn't make sense. That's it.
I do agree that there were like some, if I sit and think about it, there were a couple of like, not that it detracted from the movie for me, but it's just kind of like that's an interesting decision, because I remembered that scene specifically like in the motel,
Mhm.
because she hops on the motorcycle and she's in like less than booty shorts, and she has to like straddle the motorcycle, and I was like, this is an interesting like
Right.
choice. But that was the only part of the movie that where I was like, this is kind of a weird direction. But I think for the rest of the movie, to me, she just kind of felt like she was trying to be built up as this like kind of like, I don't know, like tough kid, tough guy. I don't know, because the when she talks to the cop, she's kind of guarded. She's kind of like angry. She's sort of like, and he mentions that. I think that's just kind of like her character. So I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It doesn't like take anything away from the movie. I still think that her having her mouth partially open the entire time when she's not talking is like
Was a little bit.
it it honestly irks the hell out of me. Like, just close your mouth. Like, just close it.
I think that's just her face.
It might have been just her face, but it irked the hell out of me. Maybe I'm shallow. That's fine. But it was a thing that
No.
I really like. I was just like, dude, stop.
She definitely has like a look, and as I look at pictures of her, I think that's just her face. I could be wrong. Her name is Katie Lotz. Um, but she has like a very specific look. So I don't
That's
know.
fair.
She was neither here nor there for me in the movie.
That's fair.
But I think I think that my biggest issue with the movie, and this was kind of like post watching it. Um, so I was interested in the ending because they give you enough information where you can kind of like make your own conclusion, um or kind of create your own ideas as to like what some of the parts of the story kind of like what they meant, what they were. So I was kind of like formulating my own ideas, but then I actually went online to see what other people had to say about the ending of the movie, and it totally went to a place that I had not even thought of. I don't know if you did any additional research on the ending,
I didn't.
but okay, so this is, I'm gonna tell you since you don't know, and this is gonna get kind of dark.
Is it
Um,
that
I will keep it
she's
as
his
PG.
daughter
Yeah.
and that he um did things with that lady? Uh, 'Cause
No,
my thought was she's actual. Okay, so she's the ghost's daughter, that Jennifer Glick or whatever, Jenny Glick, the one that was decapitated,
yeah.
and he um he raped her, and that she's like a product of that because the medium kept screaming like she doesn't want anyone to know, she didn't want anyone to know. That's where I thought it went.
So you were close. You were
Damn.
closer than I was
Okay.
to it. So there is a deleted scene that would make the ending so much more clear. I don't know whether they cut it out because it did give away too much of the ending because it's pretty dark and they wanted to make it a little less dark.
Hmm.
But do you remember the ending scene where the uncle dies and they zoom in on his eyes
And
and
he's
they're two
got
different
one red
colors?
eye or one green eye, one blue eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they zoom in on hers. So the deleted scene is that, oh well, no, I guess you're right. So well, essentially the deleted scene is some side comment where someone talks about the color of her eyes because they're two different colors and how it's a trait passed down from the father.
Hmm.
So I can totally see where you would come to that conclusion. And I don't know if there's a way, I might have to watch the movie again. So the theory I read was that the um the older sister was actually the daughter of the decapitated girl, and she and the blonde was the daughter of the mother and her uncle. So basically, a product of incest.
Okay, that's
So
fair. I could
I
see
don't
that too.
know, and I don't know if they gathered that from like the way the mother looked because essentially the decapitated woman I think like had was like a brunette and the older sister was a brunette, whereas I think that the mom and the brother were both blonde and that it was supposed to be implied that she was their offspring.
That's fair.
I
Uh,
don't know. That makes it even, I mean, it's still dark
yeah,
no matter
it's
like which way you slice it. Um something happens, some bad things happen, but yeah.
honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it was both. Um, so like, well, I say that, and I don't. It wouldn't surprise me if they were both products of this man. Um, so one is incest and one is just rape, and that is why, like, so they're from two different women, but when the lady died or whatever, the mom, right, they're going back there for her funeral. The mom took this other child in, and
Yeah.
the reason she's so mean to these kids is because she resents them for bringing, like, being a part of him. Does that make
Yeah, cuz
sense?
they're his kids.
Right.
Well, I mean even though I mean she the mom or like hid him. So that was, I don't know. They don't give a lot of backstory about the mother and the uncle's relationship, aside from the fact that she essentially sheltered him from
Yeah.
being discovered. She hid him, even though he was a serial killer. And I don't know.
You
The
know,
whole
families do a
yeah,
lot of crazy shit.
that is true. You're not wrong, but that's pretty extreme. that's that's like the deepest end, deepest darkest end of what you would do for family.
It's, I speak from experience, not that far, but you'd be
Yeah,
surprised at what family will do for other family.
it's yeah, it's very dark, very disturbing.
Yes.
And I was at the end of the movie, I was kind of trying to piece it together because I still assumed that, you know, I like at the end I was like, what I thought was, oh, um, they have the same color eyes, they must be related.
Hmm.
I didn't go as far as to think
Oh,
that.
they're related.
I was like, oh, well, I guess that's just a confirmation that he's her uncle. Like, but no. Then that's what's important about that scene that was deleted, where someone makes a comment that says, "Oh, that eye thing is a trait passed down from your father."
Yeah,
And then you would go, "Oh,
that's
well, that just
gross.
got weird and dark." Yeah.
Like,
So that was my only, like, overall I thought the movie was pretty good. That was my only issue with the movie, was that I think they deleted a pretty important scene that kind of like helps tie the ending together a little bit better. Um, but other than that, it was a pretty decent movie.
yeah, I agree. Um, I mean, whether they should have left that scene in or not is really up to the person that watches it, because some people don't like having everything spelled out for them. They like to kind of like form their own opinions about what happened. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
Inception's a great example of that. There's still debates going on to this day. Was he in a dream or not? Um,
yeah,
but other people, they like A, B, and C. This is like an outline of this is how the story goes. This is what happens. So I think
yeah,
I I think they're kind of like damned if they do, damned if they don't kind of thing. Um,
yeah. That's true.
but I tend to agree with you. I did notice that she had two different color eyes early on in the movie, and then that kind of just kind of like solidified it for me. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, well, this is what's going on. Um,
that's what's happening.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't ever spelled out, so I didn't feel comfortable enough saying this is this is the story. If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. It definitely leaves a lot up to interpretation at the end.
Yeah,
Although you got pretty close. You got pretty close to what
because I have
other people had to say about the
a
ending.
Cuphead.
Yeah. Cool. Well, is there any other parts of the movie that you wanted to touch on?
Um, no, I do want to say thanks to the director for giving Casper Van Dien another shot after Starship Troopers, because while it's not a great movie, it's a good sci-fi movie, and it deserves more credit. It's ridiculous, but it deserves more credit.
So wait, what part did he play in this movie?
He was the dude that got stabbed in the neck with the knife.
Oh, the cop.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. That's
He
that's the dude from
Yeah.
Starship Troopers.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Izzy, you're going to bed? All right.
Have a
I
good
hope
night,
that you have a
Pizzy.
good night and that you feel better. Please feel better.
Yes, please.
um oh, that's funny. Actually, but he's been in so many things. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but he's not been in anything good.
Starship Troopers, the new Alita Battle Angel. He was in Sleepy Hollow. He
Yeah,
was in the 1998 Tarzan.
yeah, but he doesn't play like big characters.
No. He's actually been in like a ton of stuff. But yeah, all like bit parts.
Yeah, like
He played Cyclops
in
in
what?
Deadpool the musical too.
Sure.
What was
Like,
that? Is that animated?
I don't
Oh,
know.
it's animated. No, it's not animated. Played Cyclops? Sorry. I
I
want
don't
to
know.
see him as Cyclops. Anyway, yes.
That's it. That's all I got.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that like stood out to me, or I think we like covered most of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like I think there's not much else really to say.
Yeah.
It's not like a fantastic movie, but it's not so bad that um it warrants like we need to rip this thing to shreds and talk about all the things that we hate about it. Um, I think that it's kind of middling. Um, so yeah, I think that we've talked about everything that really needs like warrants discussion.
All right, cool. Well, let's hop into our final review.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure. After talking about it, I don't think that my opinion has really changed that much.
Okay.
I kind of feel the same about it now as I did after I watched it. It's a uh decent movie, not a great movie, not terrible, just pretty decent, pretty okay movie. And I think that for a low budget horror movie, it did have an interesting twist. Um, a pretty yeah, pretty interesting twist. So I think I would keep it at a 5.5.
5.5. Got it. Boop boop. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think that I think that um, it does some things really well. Like I said, the story pacing is really nice, and it kind of keeps you on your toes with the story itself. Um, I just that the actress sucks. All right, but she's not bad enough to warrant me taking off points. So, but
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it at I'll say like a 6.3.
Six. Okay, so you went up from a 6 to a 6.3.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
just because I think that um the ending does warrant discussion on whether you or not you think it's as dark as I think it is. Um,
Okay.
but I don't want to have that conversation because that's gross.
Oh wait, you think it's darker than what we talked about?
I think it's darker than you thought it was. I think it's as dark as I think it is. Does that make
Wait, but we
sense?
talked. Yes.
But
I mean,
you thought it wasn't as that dark.
well, when I first watched it, I wasn't thinking that way. But made when I looked it up and looked at what other people were saying about the ending, it made sense, and I realized that it was darker than I originally thought it was.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I think that you were on the right track. I think that that's the kind of dark ending it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad.
Oof.
Yeah.
Although not as weird as good old Perfume. Not as weird as that
Uh
ending.
I liked perfume.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about perfume.
No, we're not. We're not. We're not. You're absolutely 100% correct. We're not. Anyways, so I'll go up from a 6 to a 6.3. That's fine.
Okay.
That point
Okay.
three is Casper Van Dien.
Okay. That's a like not a ton of points, but a pretty significant jump for like
Hey,
just one.
Salma Hayek's butt in Wild Wild West got a half a point.
That
So
is true. So
so
he's almost as good as Selma Hayek's butt, is what I'm gathering
have
from
you seen him? He's gorgeous. Good lord.
this. He just like what was funny in I guess in this movie is so he's supposed to be like this older cop, I guess. I don't know how old he actually is. I don't think he's that old
Oh,
because they it almost looked like they painted like gray hairs in his beard
he is
so that he
50
could make
years
a
old.
comment about how old he was.
50 years old.
That's not that old. So
No.
he made a comment in the movie about how the main actress or the main character, the girl, was just like his daughter, about how they were about the same age.
She's like
So
20.
I get
She looks
yeah,
like she's
okay.
about 20, say 22,
Well, this was
23.
in 2012, so he was actually like 40s.
Okay. I had my first kid at 18.
Yes. All right. Well, fine. I'm just saying.
No, I agree. I
I feel like
agree.
they make him look older than he was.
I mean,
Like
he
his gray beard wasn't actually a real gray beard.
it might
It
not have
looked
been.
kind of fake.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Might not have been. He's also very tan, although you find that a lot in
Yeah.
Florida, so it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
All right. So 5.5 and 6.3 for
6.3.
the Pact 2012, not El Pacto or any other pact that you
Not
guys may run across.
yes, yes. Man, that I gave it a better score than Perfume and
Well, I'm
Silent Hill. That's
not really not
crazy.
surprised by that. I'm
That's
not surprised.
crazy. You know, I gave it and it's a better score than Jingle All the Way. Wow,
So, I think that the movie,
brutal.
it wasn't anything like new or revolutionary, but I think for what it was pretty decent.
Yeah,
Like, it was decently or solidly decent, decently solid. Like, I don't know. It didn't take any risks really, but it didn't, again, it wasn't something that like wowed me.
yeah. I
So
think
maybe,
it's
yeah, that
I
safeness kind of gave it some extra points.
I think it's one of those movies that you can be like, "Hey, have you seen this movie?" while you're like browsing through Netflix, um, and someone's like, "No, I haven't seen that." Oh, you should watch it if you get a chance. Or like, "Do you want to watch this?" It's okay. Like, it's pretty okay, but it's not a
Yeah.
movie that you're like, "Hey, dude, have you seen The Pact from
Have you seen the
2012?
Pact?
You need to watch it. It's so good."
Pact 2012?
Yeah. Not El Pacto from 2018.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I
So
think it's like I said, it's like middle of the road. It's pretty good. It's pretty okay. It's
pretty
fine.
solid. Pretty solid.
It's decently pretty solid.
Yes.
There we go.
All right. So, looking ahead, what is next on our movie list?
Dude.
What do
Terror
we have?
Vision.
Terror,
Terror Vision.
Terror Vision.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Terror Vision. My
I'm not.
buddy, my longtime friend has been asking me, he's been hounding me. He's like, you guys need to I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I'm
No,
not
no, I don't
kidding.
believe you.
Like every day or at least once a week I get asked, "Hey, have you watched Terror Vision yet?" No, I haven't. I'm waiting to the movie review. He's like, "You should watch it." Okay.
So I don't know if we need to put a date on this. It's Terror Vision, 1986.
I don't know. I will say though that when he said it to me, I thought he was talking about the movie Videodrome with fucking James Woods, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. You don't know, Videodrome is awful,
No,
awful
I don't.
movie.
I will
Um,
avoid it though.
but yeah, I was like, I'm not watching Videodrome. And he's
So
like, no, it's too.
Terror Vision it says it's a cult trash movie from the 80s. That's from IMDb.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, hang on, let me make sure
Is
before I say
is
it.
cult trash
Uh, you
a
can
category?
you can watch the entire movie on Netflix.
Nice.
So
A family's new satellite TV system starts receiving signals from another planet, and it soon becomes a passageway for an alien world. Sounds
apparently, according to
sounds
my
promising.
friend, now keep in mind he is a fan of this movie. There are
Yes.
some like underlying themes in this movie about like consumerism. Um,
Okay.
so he said it's a bad movie, but it's really good and it kind of makes you think a little bit, is what he said. So it's like it's so bad it's good and it kind of makes you think a little bit is basically what he said. Um,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Oh man. Sorry. So I'm on IMDb and it's giving me like more movies like this, and there's some pretty good ones.
Are there?
Chopping Mall. I think that this is a genre like
It's got a
cult trash.
5.7 on IMDb. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Chopping
Pretty
Mall,
decently
Video
solid.
Dead,
I
Street
saw
Trash.
I saw the stuff and I thought it was the staff, and I think I remember the staff being a pretty good movie too.
I've seen this stuff.
The stuff or the
I've seen
staff?
this stuff. Yeah.
Is it good? I guess
It's all right.
I think
It's
I
okay.
staff.
Basket Case is really good. Chud, not so much. Frankenhooker, that's a top 10 there.
Anyway, a lot of similar, like, I don't know,
I'll see Night of the
80s
Demons.
sci-fi horror movies. But yeah, if you guys take a look at the here, if you take a look at
If
the
Have you seen Dead Hooker in a Trunk? Says horror historian. Nope. Look it up right now.
no,
Dead
this is
Hooker
the
in a
cover
Trunk. There
art.
you go. Right there. Set in beautiful Vancouver, four friends set out on an everyday errand and end up in a fight for their lives when they discover the body of a dead hooker left in their trunk. Sure. Yep.
That
Yep.
synopsis sounds like the title. Sounds like
Right. Like I don't know what else you really, you know, need to know about it after that. Find a dead hooker in the trunk. All right. Fair enough.
pretty straightforward movie.
More like this. See No Evil 2. Sure.
All right, so in 2 weeks' time, we will be reviewing Terror Vision. Yeah. So wait, let's see. 2 weeks from now, that would be
4th? June 4th?
yeah. Yep.
June 4th.
So I'll be around. I'll be here. We'll
Mm-hmm.
review some Terror Vision.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be good.
Yep. I'm excited. Mainly just to get him off my back.
Just have it over with.
Yeah.
I'm interested in it. It looks like it's different than some of the stuff we've reviewed. So
Yeah.
take a look at it.
I've heard decent things about it, so I'm not that upset about watching it.
Alrighty. Well, we will see you guys in 2 weeks for some Terror Vision. Thank you, Tin Man,
Thank you, Biscuit.
for being my movie review partner in crime. And
PIC.
you are not streaming tonight?
No.
Not streaming.
No. So we're gonna find someone to raid.
Yes, as will I. So I hope that you have a good night, Tin Man.
I hope you do as well.
I will talk to you later.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Okay. We're gonna find someone to raid. Okay. Following. If he's still going, we're gonna raid Brandon. If he's still, where is he? Is he still going? What's the question? Looks like it. Okay. So we're gonna we very rarely get to raid GRTK Brandon. He's usually ending before we get done. So we're gonna go ahead and throw it over to him because he just came back from a 2-week hiatus and he deserves some love. He's a good dude. I really appreciate his friendship. Again, guys, I will be back tomorrow night with probably Chrono Cross. It is Wednesday after all, so we'll see. But other than that, guys, I got nothing else. If you have the Tin Man emotes, you can do that. If you do not, you can do that. Either way, it's all cool. All gravy, baby. Mac, what's up, dude? How you doing? Came too late? Never came too late, brother. We're just gonna go throw it over to Brandon. Gonna throw it over to Brandon. We finished the movie review, and I gotta pee like a fucking Russian racehorse, man. So we're going to throw it over here. I do appreciate you stopping by, though, man. It means a lot that you're thinking about me. So yeah, guys, I hope you have a great night and have a good one.